Dark Souls, a game that has gained a dedicated and passionate fan base all around the world. Even 11 years after its initial release, it remains a beloved and highly respected title in the gaming industry. From its immersive and beautifully crafted world to its challenging and satisfying gameplay, it's no surprise that Dark Souls has stood the test of time. But what is it about this game that has kept players coming back, even all these years later? For many, it's the sense of accomplishment that comes with overcoming the game's difficult challenges. Each victory, no matter how small, feels earned and meaningful. The game's intricate and interconnected level design also encourages exploration and discovery, rewarding players who take the time to delve deeper into the world. In addition to its gameplay, the world of Dark Souls is rich and immersive, with deep lore and stunning visuals that draw players in. From the desolate ruins of Lordran to the grand and ornate architecture of Analondo, the game is a feast for the senses. But perhaps what truly sets Dark Souls apart is its atmosphere. The game is steeped in a sense of isolation and despair, with a pervasive feeling of impending danger lurking around every corner. It's a game that demands attention and respect from its players, and the sense of accomplishment that comes with overcoming its challenges is all the more rewarding because of it. So, even 11 years later, Dark Souls remains a beautiful and amazing game, one that continues to captivate and challenge players all around the world. In this video, we will delve deeper into what makes this game so special and why it continues to be a fan favorite all these years later. Segment 1. Artistic Direction. One aspect of Dark Souls that has consistently impressed players is its artistic direction. From the very first moment players enter the game's world, they are immersed in a beautifully crafted and highly detailed environment, rich with atmosphere and mood. One of the most striking elements of the game's art design is its use of lighting. The game utilizes a wide range of lighting effects, from the soft, diffuse glow of bonfires to the stark and piercing beams of sunlight filtering through the trees. The use of light and shadow is particularly effective in creating a sense of atmosphere and mood, and helps to bring the game's environments to life. The game also employs dynamic lighting, with the time of day and weather conditions affecting the look and feel of each area. This adds an extra layer of immersion and realism to the game world. Speaking of environments, Dark Souls boasts a wide range of detailed and varied locations, each with its own unique visual style. From the crumbling ruins of Lordran to the grand and ornate architecture of Analondo, the game is a feast for the eyes. The use of color and detail is particularly noteworthy as it helps to create a sense of place and history. Each area feels distinct and lived in, adding to the game's overall sense of immersion. The game's world is also interconnected, with different areas linked together in a seamless and logical way. This encourages exploration and discovery as players uncover new areas and secrets hidden throughout the world. The character design in Dark Souls is also noteworthy, with a wide range of distinctive and memorable characters populating the world. From the twisted and grotesque enemies to the beautifully designed bosses, each character is a work of art in its own right. The game's use of color, detail, and animation brings each character to life and helps to make them feel unique and memorable. The game's character design is particularly effective in conveying the sense of isolation and despair that permeates the world of Dark Souls. The enemies and bosses players encounter often seem twisted and unnatural, adding to the game's overall sense of unease and danger. Overall, the artistic direction in Dark Souls is consistently impressive, with a level of attention to detail and atmosphere that helps to draw players into the world. The game's use of lighting, environments, and character design is top-notch, and it's no wonder why the game's art style has been so highly praised and influential over the years. Whether players are exploring the desolate ruins of Lordran or facing off against one of the game's epic bosses, they are treated to a visual feast that is sure to leave a lasting impression. The game's art direction serves as a testament to the attention and care that went into its development, and it's a key reason why Dark Souls continues to be a beloved and highly regarded title all these years later. Segment 2. Level Design. One of the most consistently impressive aspects of Dark Souls is its level design. From the very first moment players enter the game's world, they are struck by the sense of exploration and discovery that permeates the game. The game's levels are intricately designed, with a wide range of secrets and hidden areas waiting to be discovered. One of the key elements of the game's level design is its interconnectedness. Each area in the game is linked together in a seamless and logical way, encouraging players to explore and discover new areas. This interconnectedness extends to the game's various bonfires, which serve as fast travel points and checkpoints throughout the game. The bonfires are also linked together in a logical way, with players able to explore different paths and areas as they progress through the game. This interconnectedness helps to create a sense of cohesion and unity in the game's world, and encourages players to explore and discover new areas. The game's level design also encourages exploration and discovery through the use of hidden areas and secrets. Players are often rewarded for taking the time to explore off the beaten path, with hidden items and areas waiting to be discovered. These hidden areas often require players to solve puzzles or overcome challenges in order to access them, adding an extra layer of satisfaction to the exploration process. The game's levels are also filled with hidden passages and shortcuts, which can help players to navigate the game's challenges more effectively. The game's level design is also noteworthy for its attention to detail and atmosphere. Each area in the game feels distinct and lived in, with a sense of history and place. The game's use of lighting, music, and sound effects also helps to create a sense of atmosphere and mood, adding to the overall sense of immersion. The game's levels are filled with details and Easter eggs that help to flesh out the game's world and lore, and encourage players to explore and discover more. Overall, the level design in Dark Souls is consistently impressive, with a focus on exploration and discovery that keeps players coming back for more. The game's interconnected world and attention to detail help to create a sense of place and atmosphere, and it's a key reason why the game continues to be a beloved and highly regarded title all these years later. Whether players are navigating the treacherous ruins of Lodron or delving into the hidden secrets of Anor Londo, they are treated to a level design that is both challenging and rewarding. Segment 3. Themes and Atmosphere. One of the key elements that sets Dark Souls apart from other games is its atmosphere and themes. From the very first moment players enter the game's world, they are struck by a sense of isolation and despair that permeates the game. The game's world is steeped in a sense of loss and decay, with a pervasive feeling of impending danger lurking around every corner. The game's enemies and bosses are often twisted and grotesque, adding to the sense of unease and danger. The game's themes of death and resurrection also play a central role in the game's atmosphere and narrative. Players are constantly reminded of their own mortality, with death being a frequent occurrence in the game. However, the game's use of bonfires and the ability to resurrect it themselves is a constant reminder that death is not the end. The game's themes of death and resurrection add a layer of depth and meaning to the gameplay and help to create a sense of drama and stakes. The game's world is also filled with the ghosts of fallen warriors, further emphasizing the themes of death and resurrection. The game's use of music and sound effects also helps to create a sense of atmosphere and mood. From the haunting melodies of the game's soundtrack to the faint sound of footsteps echoing through the ruins, the game is a masterclass in the use of audio to create atmosphere. The game's use of ambience and ambient sounds is particularly effective in creating a sense of place and mood. The game's music also serves as an important storytelling element, with each area having its own unique theme that helps to establish the mood and tone. Overall, the themes and atmosphere of Dark Souls are a key element of the game's appeal. The game's sense of isolation and despair, combined with its themes of death and resurrection, help to create a unique and immersive experience that has resonated with players all around the world. The game's atmosphere is a testament to the attention and care that went into its development, and it's a key reason why Dark Souls continues to be a beloved and highly regarded title all these years later. Segment 4. Gameplay. One of the key elements that has kept players coming back to Dark Souls for all these years is its challenging and satisfying gameplay. From the very first moment players enter the game's world, they are confronted with a series of challenges that test their skills and endurance. One of the key elements of the game's gameplay is its combat system. The game's combat is fast-paced and intense, requiring players to carefully manage their stamina and positioning in order to succeed. The game's enemies are also a formidable opponent, requiring players to use a combination of strategy and quick reflexes to defeat them. The game's boss battles are particularly noteworthy, with each boss presenting a unique and challenging fight that requires players to master the game's combat mechanics. The game's level design also plays a key role in the gameplay experience. The game's levels are filled with traps and hazards that can catch players off guard, and the game's use of ambushes and surprise attacks helps to keep players on their toes. The game's interconnected world also encourages exploration and discovery, with hidden areas and secrets waiting to be discovered. Overall, the gameplay of Dark Souls is challenging and satisfying, with a focus on skill and strategy that keeps players coming back for more. The game's combat system, level design, and boss battles are all highlights of the gameplay experience, and it's a key reason why the game continues to be a beloved and highly regarded title all these years later. Segment 5. Conclusion. In conclusion, it's clear that Dark Souls is still a beautiful and amazing game even 11 years later. The game's artistic direction, level design, themes, and gameplay all come together to create a unique and immersive experience that has resonated with players all around the world. The game's use of lighting, environments, character design, and audio all contribute to the game's sense of atmosphere and mood, and help to draw players into the world. The game's level design encourages exploration and discovery, and the game's combat system and boss battles are challenging and satisfying. It's no wonder why Dark Souls has remained such a beloved and highly regarded title all these years later. The game's combination of artistry, gameplay, and atmosphere is truly unparalleled, and it's a testament to the attention and care that went into its development. Whether players are newcomers to the series or seasoned veterans, Dark Souls is a game that is sure to leave a lasting impression. It's a true classic, and it's a game that continues to stand the test of time. Thanks for watching. This is my first time doing a video like this, so if you enjoyed it and want to see more, feel free to hit that subscribe button and check out some of our other videos. But for now, later.